is Drive
with Roberto Perrone.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
"35 years after the first Star Wars film, George Lucas is selling his company Lucasfilm to Disney for more than $4 billion. It's a lot of money. The deal includes the release of another 3 Star Wars films, with the first planned for 2015. Up until now, the Star Wars films have been made at Elstree Studios in Hertfordshire. It's a chat with Mark Newbold from Jedi News. I didn't even know there was a Jedi News. Mark, very good afternoon to you.
How are you doing? Good afternoon.
May the Force be with you.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, all that stuff. What do you make of this announcement then, Mark? I mean, it is huge news.
It's massive news. It's brilliant news, and I think for all Star Wars fans, it's positive news. It's the franchises being sold to a company that knows how to look after, knows how to look after such things.
Well, I should imagine. Hang on, hold on, big boy. I should imagine George Lucas knew how to look after his own franchise.
He did, but he's 68 and he wants to retire and he wants to leave it in good hands, and Disney's the safest pair of hands out there. So I think it's a good deal all round for the fans and for him. Obviously, it's his baby, it's his sandbox, and he's passing it on to the right people.
I mean, even way back in '77, George Lucas apparently intended it to be a 9-part series. Is this his way of making sure it happens?
It kind of is, yeah. I mean, at one point he said 12 parts, so, but it slipped back to 9, and then, when he came to do when he finished the original 3 and decided to make the prequels, he said it was only ever going to be 6. Now it's back up to 9, with the potential of there being far more, because Disney has said there may be a film every couple of years, but not necessarily chronologically following these ones. There may be prequels, there may be sequels, and skipping all over the place. But yeah, it kind of fits more with what he was talking about sort of 20, 30 years ago.
Now, Mark, I don't know how old you are, and I don't know what Jedi News is all about. I'm going to check it out because it sounds like a great publication. I went to see, at the Odeon in Luton, the first Star Wars in '77 when it came out. All right? Mesmerising. Okay, came out the cinema, the Odeon, walked home, right, and I pretended I had a what's it called?
Leather?
Yeah, one of those. Right, I pretended I had one of those, right, and we used to get like toilet rolls and pretend and do the sound. Fantastic. After that, it just got silly. I mean, the one with the teddy bears in. Come on.
Well, it's all down to personal taste, isn't it? He sold a lot of teddy bear toys. It's like you say, some people like them, some people don't. The first 2 are obviously the ones that are hailed as the classics, but they've all done fantastically well. And let's not forget, I don't know how old you were when Star Wars came out.
14.
I was 7, so we were kids, so they were kind of pitched at our sort of age. We're both in our 40s now, so, time moves on. You're not going to have quite the same perspective on those films.
But can you have a 9 or, God help us, a 12-part series when the original film was so good? I mean, that's for me where it started and ended. The other 2, maybe. But now the story's become so convoluted, I don't know when it starts and when it finishes. I saw one the other day on telly with Ewan McGregor, the other fella who's in Taken, Samuel L. Jackson, and now Yoda walks and talks, but no, he's still rubbish. And I'm thinking, it's ridiculous.
Well, that was one of the prequels. That was set before the original film. So that was really episode 1, 2, or 3. Whereas the ones we remember as kids were 4, 5, and 6. These are 7, 8, and 9. These are Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher. These are the ones.
So we saw number 1, 2, and 3, and then they became 4, 5, and 6.
No. When we were kids, the first one we saw, Star Wars 1977, that was number 4. And Empire was number 5, and Jedi was number 6.
So the one I saw in 77, that was number 4?
Yes.
It's very confusing. So they were 4, 5, and 6. Then we went back to 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, that's it. And now we're doing 7, 8, and 9. So he skipped around a bit, but it was always the plan. That was always the way he planned it. That was always the way it was intended to be.
But hasn't the story watered down? I mean, I'm just thinking back to things like The Phantom Menace, Jar Jar Binks. It was a joke. Yeah,
but you remember, if you remember when we were kids, C-3PO was certainly not the most popular character. He was widely vilified, whereas a character like Jar Jar Binks was massively popular for young kids who were the age that we were when the original came out. So he's always kept it true to that core audience, which is kind of aimed at sort of 7 to sort of 12, 13-year-olds.
Who reads Jedi News, Mark?
About 6 million people a month.
Get out of here. 6 million?
Yeah, big site.
Well, and what's their sort of socio-economic breakdown? Are they all single men living with their parents in their back bedrooms?
Oh, that's a very old cliche. The fandom mixture between men and women is pretty evenly split. So the demographic, if you like, it's worldwide, all ages, all sexes, both sexes. So we cover all bases. And the website, it's news, it's collecting news, it's magazine information.
And who's your favourite character from Star Wars?
I'll probably have to say Han Solo. He's the dude. He's the one to beat.
Okay, can you do any impersonations from Star Wars?
I really wish I could, but I can't. And when I've got a sore throat, I can do a pretty good Chewbacca, but today... That's not bad.
What about this one? See, get this one. This is my favourite. I love doing this. My producers say don't. I love doing this. Right, get this, right? Okay.
Oh.
Okay, all right.
Luke, I am your father. Stop looking at your sister's bum.
I would say that's uncanny.
Mark, pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Mark Newbold from Jedi.